because I couldn't figure out how to do this on my computer. It wouldn't open my, give me access to my camera or my microphone, but I am here. Hold on. I'm gonna try and put this on my ring light. All right. Don't love it. Okay. So is anybody here with me? No. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, wait. No, I'm not gonna get out yet. Cancel. All right, I see all of you. I see all of you here. That's great. But, this was not exactly supposed to be the public live. This was supposed to be for the members who are in the town hall level. But when I tried to do this on my laptop would not allow me to access my camera or my microphone. So as I figured would happen, that's a technological glitch. I'm hoping that the two people who were waiting in the waiting area of that other live, that obviously is not happening, find their way over here. I will figure out the technology moving forward. But at any rate, here I am on my phone doing this. And so here's how I'm going to think of it. This is a little commercial. How about that? This is a commercial encouraging you to join at the town hall level. I'm going to probably do these lives once or twice a month, like maybe every other week, something like that, and entertain your questions. So this is a commercial, and so the way that the commercial is functioning is that you all, I guess, get to ask your questions. And if this is a format that you like, I hope you will join at the town hall level. I mean, you know what I mean? What am I going to do? Technology, and I'm kind of old, so I'm cutting myself a break. I'm trying to be, no, it's got nothing to do with Mercury retrograde. It has everything to do with me being technologically inept. However, by the time it's time for me to do this again, I will have figured it out. Fortunately, I do know how to do a regular live on my phone. I don't know why my computer would not allow me to give YouTube permission to see to use my camera and my microphone, but whatever. So I just uploaded a video a couple of minutes ago. I don't know if you've even had time to see it, but I did. So, go look at that. And if there are questions that you have, I'm happy to answer them. I am not going to answer people's personal questions. This is not that. This is questions for things that are going on in the world, the regular kinds of things that you would normally see me talk about. And that's what I'm happy to answer. So I'm keeping track of the feed here. And I'm just waiting for a question. Oh, you were on there and you jumped on here. Oh, you were on the other video that I just put up, yeah. But there's people who are at that town hall level who I hope are not lost in space waiting for a video that will never be there because, again, I cannot access my microphone and camera. So what are you going to do? There is a join, Planet Paulette, there's a join button on my channel. If you click the join button, it'll show you the 2 levels. And you can pick a level and then go from there. Okay, here's a question from Nancy Sage Shadow. Will Maxwell get a pardon or a commutation? Will Maxwell get a pardon or a commutation? I think, that the felon is between a real rock and a hard place. If he pardons her, everybody's going to say, ew, you pardoned a felon, that means you're guilty by association. If he doesn't pardon her, she's free to break her promise to him and release the Kraken, which is all the information that she has. And she's got the same information that Epstein has. She could destroy him. So it's really a toss-up as to whether or not he pardons her. So let's just ask the question. I'm gonna just pull 3 cards and see what it looks like. He probably changes his mind every hour on the hour. So we have the Scythe, the Garden, and the Sun. Yes, he will cut her loose so that she's out in the wild, you know, feeling the sun and the wind and the rain and all of it. Yes, I do think he will cut her loose. He will do a cost-benefit analysis, and I think he will pardon her for 2 reasons. Thank you. One reason is that he's afraid of her, and the other is a big F you to everybody that's trying to tell him what to do. So I think he will pardon or commute her sentence, yes. What will happen with Obamacare? They will destroy it. They're already destroying it. The new plan is they're going to give everybody money, and then you figure it out. The goal is to destroy Obamacare. That is the plan. Now, will they destroy it? They've already half destroyed it. I think yes, it will. Now, you know, Obamacare was better than the nothing that people had, but it had its flaws. So ideally, when we get back into power, we can come up with something better. But yes, here we go. Look, the Key, the Scythe, and the Star. Yeah, they will get rid of it. They will destroy it. But remember that I always say we are living in Pluto in Aquarius, which means things have to get destroyed before things can be rebuilt, because 2 things can't take up the same space at the same time. So I think they will destroy Obamacare, try some cockamamie idea of giving people money to find their own health care in the marketplace. That's not going to work. The regime will fall, and we will come up with a way better plan. Okay, here's one by Fiore Tature, something like that, which is, will 47 or any of his grifting family have to answer for their crimes? Well, maybe at the throne of the Almighty, perhaps one day. You know, there's a lot of them it's a big question, right? There's a lot of them who have to answer. I will say this, every single time I've read on Bondi, Pam Bondi, she skates free. She may go live in Qatar, but she will skate free, I think. In terms of the rest, there's too many of them for me to answer that one singular question with. With the felon, I think he's not long for this earth. I know all of us readers are saying that, but he's not. I think either his heart will take him out, he'll have an aneurysm, or you know, he'll be drooling in a corner somewhere. That's the end that he will meet, and I don't think we have too much longer to wait for that. Will things get so hot that the felon flees the country? I think he will pass, if you know what I mean, before he gets to flee, but I will look. Will he flee the country? And the question is, you know, flee and go where? And what does he offer any country that takes him in? We have the Rider, we have Clover, and we have Scales. I think that he would be prohibited from doing that. Like the plane wouldn't be able to leave US airspace. That's what I think. Because what's he gonna get on, Air Force One? And take it to some foreign country? No, I don't think that will happen. I think that he would be prohibited from leaving. No. Okay, let's see. Will Harris run again? You know, Harris is it's an interesting, I'll call it, position. I think that for the longest time, she was really wounded by what happened. I think it was painful for her. I think she was hurt. I think she was angry. I think she felt betrayed. I think she felt kind of set up by Biden, who had made clear that he was only going to do one term. I mean, I heard him say that out of his own mouth. Then all of a sudden he's going to do 2 terms. And then all of a sudden they leave her however many days to put together a campaign. Now, she went and wrote that book, which, is a scathing indictment of that whole thing, meaning that therefore she has lost a lot of allies that she may have had in the party. Not only that, you've got a lot of sharks circling, right? A lot of people would like to be president. The governor of the state that I live in, for one, Newsom, Pritzker. There's a lot of people who want to throw their hats in the ring and are looking at this. Not only that, she has been, relatively speaking, silent, except for her book tour. And she's not silent on a book tour because she's trying to sell books. There are a lot of people who supported her and have said, well, where has she been? Like, where is her voice? So will she run again? She may enter the primary. I'm not sure, but I'm going to look. Will Harris run again? My thinking is that she will see the writing on the wall, and I don't think she would do well in the primary. So we have the young woman, we have the tree, and we have the fox. I think she was so wounded, she waited too long to speak up. This is the card for health, but it's also the card for like a long time. She waited too long, and like I said, there are sharks in the water circling her, meaning they want the job too. They will not feel like, it was stolen from her, so let's be gentlemen and step back and let her have it. That's not going to happen. They're going to want that job for themselves. So I think she missed the boat. Not every reader will tell you that or see that, but that's what I think. I think she will have missed the boat on this one. Okay. Will we ever get our money back from, I think you mean Argentina, not Venezuela. I'm pretty sure Venezuela is where they're shooting fishermen out of the water. Let's keep our South American countries straight. Venezuela is where we're shooting people, so we're not going to get money from them. You're talking about, this is Roberta, you're talking about Argentina, where Trump's friend is, the leader, and he's given this guy millions of dollars. Will we get that money back? Will we get that money back? I'm just going to pull 3 cards. I would let you see me pull, but, I'm on my phone, so what are you going to do? Will we get the money back? We have birds, moon, and we have the felon. No, but I think that reputationally, people will be talking about this and saying, wait, excuse me, why did we give that money to Argentina? Like, why are we propping them up when we can't even prop up our own selves? So I think it will be the price that we pay for a lot of more people in our country waking up and seeing who the felon really is. So that's money, I feel like, down the drain. I don't think we'll get that back. Okay, fun saw, something like that. Will Jeffries be, who's Galen? Well, anyway, Jeffries. Will Jeffries be replaced? Why would Jeffries be replaced? Let's see. I do think it's interesting that Lauren Boebert is calling Jeffries a lizard person, like an alien person. Jeffries has a very sort of flat affect. He does his face doesn't move very much, and he's really super serious, and it doesn't seem like he understands the fierce urgency of now, which I guess makes her think, oh, cold-blooded, oh, reptilian, oh, he must be half reptile. But she's crazy. So will Jeffries be replaced? Let me look. Remember that Jeffries is the protege of the retiring Nancy Pelosi. No, I don't think he'll be replaced. I think here this is Jeffries now, not the felon, this is Jeffries. We have the bouquet, and we have the scales. I don't think he will be replaced. No. I think he will be rewarded by being allowed to keep his seat. Now, the Schumer is another question entirely. And I have already read on Schumer, and I do think that he will be, he won't run again. He's not in danger from the voters, but I think he won't run again. The other thing is with Schumer, who wants that job? Nobody. But I think he will just retire. Yes, Hakeem. Okay, there we go. Oh, there we go. That's the next question. Will Turncoat Schumer, this is Carl well, I can't say it. Carl, you know who you are. Will Turncoat Schumer, my nickname for Chuck Schumer, be replaced? Let me say this, because I want to get it clear. A viewer said to me, oh, Schumer was not involved in what happened in ending the shutdown, because they're saying that because Schumer's name is not one of the Democrats' names who, approved the shutdown. That doesn't mean that he is without responsibility. First of all, whoever did sign on, the Democrats that did sign on to the shutdown ending, were very calculatedly selected. Like they weren't in danger of in their electorate, in their districts, for one thing. Or they were retiring or something like that. They were in no danger. That seems very strategic to me, number one. Number two, so he could have been strategic and said, you're going to do it, you're going to do it, you're going to do it, you're going to do it. But, let's say that's not what happened. Let's say he tried to tell them not to do it, but they did it anyway. Well, what kind of control does he then have over his membership? Pelosi would never have let that happen in the House. So why was there that lack of discipline? Will he be replaced? Yes, I said, and I have read on this, I think he will be replaced. Let me say again, commercial in the middle of this commercial, this live was originally meant for members at the town hall level. If you go to my channel, you'll see a join button. If you click the join button, it tells you the 2 levels that I have. The town hall level is the higher level, and that was the level where I was going to do the live. However, my computer, for whatever reason, did not want me to allow access to my camera or my microphone, so I couldn't get in there. So I said, all right, you know what? I'll just do a regular live and think of it as a commercial. If you like this format, I am thinking of doing it a couple of times a month, so probably like every other week. The right way, like, on my laptop, but it would be for people who have subscribed to be members of the channel at the town hall level. So you're getting a little freebie commercial here. Okay. Here is a question by Nikita's mom. Will the Epstein files be stopped from coming out? Because since Bondi and Trump opened up a new investigation, it would possibly stop the Epstein files from being released. This is concerning. Listen, Bondi and Trump are going to do everything that they can to stall. But look what just happened. We had that trove of thousands and thousands of emails that came to us from the Epstein estate that is separate and apart from these Epstein files that we're talking about right now. I assure you that the material in those files is, there are other people and places that are privy to that material. And they're not all on United States soil. So I do think we may not see everything in the end, but we'll see a lot. And it may not be through this mechanism that we're trying to get, but we will see it because they will be leaked. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to Town Hall. Vicky Beach Shrink, thank you. Yes. You see how it says welcome to Town Hall there where Vicky is? All right. That's the button that you push when you go to join. If you hit that button, the Town Hall member button, the next time I do this live, you'll be able to access it. Here, it's a freebie for everybody because my technology got screwed up. So those of you who paid, sorry, but next time it will be just us. And hopefully everybody here will join us. That would be great. Okay, this is Sharon Vaughn. I'm really curious about how Caroline Levitt reconciles telling those lives every single day. Yeah, she's an odd one, is she not? What's up with Caroline Levitt? Like, what is her deal? What kind of, what deal, literally deal, what deal has been made with her that she gets up there and just does a Pinocchio better than Pinocchio? So I'm going to pull 5 on Caroline Levitt. We're letting Spirit pick all the cards. That means including the one in the middle. So let's see. Okay, so we have the star, the dog. Here's Carolyn, and she popped up right in the middle, which is interesting, right? She's very young, so it makes sense. It's the young woman card. The last two are the lily and then the felon. So why is she doing this? You know, why has she sold herself? Because the felon has assured her that she has a bright future. And I mean, how would you not have a bright future as press secretary? Oh, wait, you're press secretary to the felon. Maybe she should have thought about, I don't know, Sean Spicer's fate. Remember him? Then he went on to do Dancing with the Stars. But anyway, the felon said, you will be set for life. She likes the idea that she's friends with him. She thinks it makes her somebody. And, you know, she's got a daddy complex. She did marry that man who's like, what, 30-something years older than she is? And they have a baby now. I think she likes these old men. And I think the felon knew what to say to her, what to promise her in terms of power, influence, money, whatever. That's why she's as greedy as the rest of them are in that administration, because you can ask the same question of any of them, right? Why are you here? I mean, look at what's his name? Marco Rubio. He looks like, I don't know. He looks miserable. And yet there he is. Okay, let's see. Will we have a fair election in 2026? They will absolutely try to subvert the election. We know that that's going to happen. But how will the elections go in terms of fairness come next November? I'm pulling 5 on that. How will the elections go? Okay, well, okay, so we have the dog, the mice, the anchor is in the center. We have the rider, and we have the fox. So here's what I want to say. I think that lawyers and people who are trying to keep things democratic and working are well aware of nefarious influences, some of which are foreign, because this is the card for both, are at play. And so our side is aware of that. People who want fair elections are aware of that. There is a lot of worry around this, a lot of worry, a lot of fear. And that's going to be communicated. But I like to see this in the middle. Here, I think that our elections will, in the end, be safe. I don't think they will be co-opted and corrupted the way that they were. Because, again, people are on the lookout for it. Okay. All right, I'm just looking at, okay. Is the Western economy on the edge of crashing? Well, yes. Again, let me say, and I am no astrologer. I saw somebody in the comments put some, I don't know, very technical astrological explanation of where we are in the comments. You can go and read that, but I will just repeat what I said about Pluto in Aquarius, which is to say things fall apart on every level in every way, but that's not a bad thing. Physics tells us two things cannot take up the same space at the same time. Like my one hand is here, one hand is here. I can put them on top of each other. I can put them next to each other, but I cannot blend them together so that they are, you know, like the same thing. I can't do that. Something has to give and be destroyed and end before something else can be built. Unfortunately, you and I are here for the great dismantling. We chose to come here now. Hopefully, we will start to see the rebuild. But if we don't see it, our children and our children's children will see it, and they'll create it. But will the, you know, is the economy on the verge of crashing? Yes, but you know, you're not asking my opinion. I assume you're asking the cards. These don't really, hold on. I need 5. Okay, so we have the garden, the house, woman in the middle, the lily, and the scythe. So the scythe at the end tells me that, you know, in terms of the public, our economy, etc., and how it will affect all of us, yes, it will be cut. I mean, have you been to the grocery store lately? I'm just saying. But in the end, all will be well. All will be well. That east wing will be rebuilt. We will have this nightmare in our rear view mirror. And I think that women will play a way more prominent part in government than they do now. But we have to go through the hard part. Everybody wants things quick, fast, and in a hurry, and they want me to be the good news bear. And in the fullness of time, everything will be fine. But we're not at the fullness of time yet. This is the, you know, the hard part of our show, you know? Okay. I read on tariffs in my previous video, the one I just did right before I came on here, Yvonne. So go and look at that, because I did answer that question on that video. Will we invade Venezuela, Shirley? Will we invade? Well, we're kind of doing everything but. We may well invade Nigeria, Congo, Venezuela. He will want that. Because it's a distraction. But I'm going to look at Venezuela. And I'll pull 5. I hope you could probably hear that horn, because I hope not. But anyway, we have the heart, we have the tower, we have the felon in the middle, we have the tree, and we have the star. I think that, you know, in order to declare war, the Congress has to agree. And Congress people are starting to really peel off from the felon. So I do not think that there will be a formal declaration of war coming from the United States. It might come from the felon, but that would be illegal and unofficial. I don't think that the Congress will permit an act of war against Venezuela, even though we're blowing fishermen out of the sea. So, you know. All right. I'm just trying to see if I see any. Thank you. I don't know how to say your name. Nida Perez? You joined as a member, thank you. Jacqueline, were you on the other, I think Jacqueline, you were on the other stream and I couldn't get in, so I'm glad you found your way here. Hi from London, you say, so thank you. Will John Fetterman be elected again? Well, John Fetterman, you heard the latest, right? He was outside of his house, he collapsed, was a cardiac event. His health is worse than the felons. So I think he will not be elected again, but I also don't think he can complete his term. I don't think he'll be able to stand for election because his health is not good. Star, book, woman, Scythe Garden. So, you know, his future is unknown because his health is just horrible. And that stroke he had seems to have scrambled his brain, because I don't think the people who voted for him thought that he would be voting in the way that he is. But his future is uncertain. And I can mirror this book with the scythe. I mean, I'm just going to put it like this. His health is very, 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 very bad. So no, he will not stand for election, nor would he be reelected if he stood for election. So that's for you, Martha. Hi from Ohio. Teresa, hi, thank you. Beach Shrink, thank you for being a member. Jacqueline, oh, that's a good question. Will the felon be successful in suing the BBC? So, yeah, you know, he is the most litigious person in the world, and they did issue an apology, but they, you know, they don't accept that they have any kind of financial responsibility that they need to pay him for anything. So will he be successful in suing them? That's a good question. So I'm gonna pull 3, and then if I need more, I'll pull more. We have the anchor, we have the letter, we have the garden, the lily, and the star. You know what I think? I think this thing is just gonna get pushed off and pushed off and pushed off and pushed off and not go anywhere. So I think he will not win, because it won't ever come to that, if you know what I mean. I think, well, frankly, I think he'll meet his end before this thing would run its course. They don't want to pay him. I don't think they want to settle with him. They're saying not. And if it were to go to court, it would just get mired down, and with continuances and all of that. And I don't think that he will be successful there. Minnesota's in the house. Historical medium, hi. Sheila, thank you for upgrading, appreciate it. Hi, Sharon. All right, I'm just looking to see. Okay. Will the felon's brand, this is from Love Nature Oz. That's kind of a cool name. Will the felon's brand, which is his surname, be forever tarnished when everything comes out about the felon? Well, I mean, buildings have already taken the name Trump off of them. I mean, I'll never forget, was I in Korea or China? Somewhere where it was very unexpected, and there was a building and Trump blasted all over it. Will his brand be ruined? Well, I guess the question is, what will happen with his brand once everything comes out? And I mean, isn't there enough out to have ruined his brand already? But let's just see what will happen with his brand. I like answering questions and asking questions in that way instead of yes, no, because this way we get a little more nuance. What will happen with his brand? Okay, so here he is. And then the fox is the second card, mountain, coffin, key. So once everybody sees who he really is, once that's clear to everyone, what a I'm just gonna say flawed human being he is. We'll just leave it like that. All kinds of entities. This is foreign, foreign, like I said, foreign places that have his property and his name, Trump, the Trump brand. That will end. That will end. I can mirror these two cards. And of course, what's right in the middle is the mountain. So yes, he will be blocked. And I think in a lot of ways, people will try really hard to even block him from our memory. This has been such a traumatic 10 years that, you know, how he's erasing, I don't know, black people, women, gay people from the history books. There may well be an attempt to erase him. So his brand will absolutely be either erased or when you see the name, you'll be like, oh yeah, no, nobody wants a part of that. So it'll be the opposite of what he thinks it is. Okay. Oh, I said your name right. Oh, good. All right. Okay, here's one from Anna Liviful. I don't want to mess it up, but Anna, you know who you are. Just saw Trump is insisting that SNAP benefits will only, yes! Did you hear this? Okay. SNAP benefits will only be restored upon reapplying. If you're asking me whether that news piece is true, yes, apparently it's true. Well, I call him a flawed human being, but if I'm sitting here long enough, who knows what's going to come out of my mouth? And, I want to be respectful of the platform. But yes, that is true. People will have to reapply. Now, we know what that means. That means it's going to clog up the pipeline. And that means that there are going to be people who will be slow to get their benefits. And that means also that there will be people who will be squeezed out of benefits. He is an awful, awful, awful human being. So, we need to, if you have not yet donated to your local food pantry, I suggest that you do it. They will receive your offerings gratefully. You can give them stuff, but what they really need is money, because with money, they can go to the store and get the things that they need to stock these pantries with. So I know I've donated, my partner has donated, and I think I might make it a regular thing, because people are really hurting while he's having his Gatsby Halloween night. So yes, that is true. Apparently, people will have to reapply. Okay. Chantel, thank you. Welcome. Lorianne, thank you and welcome. Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking for a question. Oh, okay. How will the Georgia case with the election interference and the new attorney general who's replacing Fani Willis, how will that Georgia case do? So remember, this is a state election case against the felon. Because it's state, the fact that he's a sitting president has no bearing. The case can move forward. This is the case that Fani Willis was in charge of, and then, you know what happened with that. So they have now appointed someone new to take over. How will that election interference case go? Let's see. I'm pulling 5. Let's see what we get. The felon has no power to shut that down, again, because it's a state thing, not a federal thing. So we have the birds, the child, the tree, the rider, and the anchor. Here, again, and it's so frustrating, because we have a tree and an anchor, I just feel like it will be very slow going. Of course, that person has to get up to speed. It's like all over again. All that work that was done kind of goes out the window. They have to start from scratch. And I think everything just moves very, very, very slowly. It will proceed, I think, but just move very slowly. And I think that there's so many other things that can take him down before that case went to a jury, that but it's lovely that he's got another thing to worry about. I mean, I'm thrilled by that. Just looking back at the feed. Thank you for all of you who have joined the community. Oh, okay, here's one. Where's the where's the money from the tariffs? Exactly. Where is the money from the tariffs? Did it go to ICE? Will they blow through the 138 billion from the big beautiful bill? I mean, I'm going to say yes and yes. And I'm going to say I wouldn't be surprised if some of that money went offshore in a money laundering kind of way. Because here's why. He is really upset, worried about the Supreme Court. And if you look at the previous video that I did today, just before I came on here, I did a video and I addressed the question of the tariffs. He's really worried. Now, why is he so worried? It's kind of like if you put money in a bank, in a savings account that you collected, and you said, okay, and then somebody said, yo, your refrigerator is broken, so you have to buy a new refrigerator. Well, you would go to that savings account and take the money out and buy the refrigerator, right? Because that's what the money was there for. But what if you didn't put the money in the savings account and now you need a new refrigerator? Where's the money? Why is he so upset? He says if he has to pay those tariffs back, the country will be ruined. Why? Isn't the money in the savings account? So where's the money? Where is the money? Let's look. Where is the money, the tariff money? Okay, so I'll pull 5. Where is the tariff money? We have the key, the child, the woman, the star, and the mountain. Well, I'm just going to say this. The fact that the key and the mountain mirror is very interesting to me. I think the money is someplace where it shouldn't be. Could it have gone to ICE? Yeah, it could have gone to ICE because they're bulking that up. That's his private army, his SS, if you will. Has it gone to his own private funds? I think some of it has gone there, but it's not there. It's not where it's supposed to be is the problem. And we're going to find that out soon. Because as soon as that ruling is set forth, I'm sure the Supreme Court understanding would be, okay, so now the tariffs stop and the money goes back where it came from. And if it doesn't, where is it? But again, this is just the latest on his plate. He's got so much on that plate, the table's caving in. I mean, no wonder he can't sleep at night. All right, I'm just looking back to see if I missed anything, and then I'm going to go forward because maybe this is it. I don't know. Maybe people don't have more questions. Thank you so much, all of you who've joined as members. I appreciate it. And again, these lives will be for town hall members moving forward, and I will do them every couple of weeks. Okay, here's a question. Is Putin the one who's going to bring Trump down? I think he is one of many who have the power to bring him down. I think he is the one that the felon is afraid of. I think I talked about this in the previous video that I did today. I think that Putin has a lot of compromat on the felon, both financial and personal, if you know what I mean. Trying to be respectful of the platform, but you know what I mean by personal. I think that there are photographs and all kinds of evidence that the felon would be horrified if it came out. And I think that the evidence goes beyond what he does or did before he became incontinent and everything else with young women. I think it's a lot more, and I would encourage you, or not, to use your imagination as to what that could mean. So I did talk about this in my previous video, but the short answer, Mark, and is it, no, this is Ansel, Anselm, is yes, Putin will be one of many who bring him down. Anna, you want to know, did the money go to blackmail payments? I think that any money that he has stolen from us will go to any number of things. And does he have to pay to black? I think he's the one being blackmailed. So, you know. Yeah, J Cat Lady, my pendulum said it went into his private funds. Probably. Okay, Cindy Cat Mom, in my deck, do the people cards favor people you know or have known? Well, I will say that the older man card, I always kind of apologize to, because I love that card, and it looks a lot like my late husband. That card does look a lot like him. The young woman card looks a lot like my daughter. So yeah. Okay, here's a good one, Jacqueline. Will the felon be able to extort the British NHS for more money for pharmaceuticals? Well, listen, if he can extort somebody, he will do that. Can he extort them for pharmaceuticals? I'm not sure that's on his list of things to do, but let's look. So we have the moon, the rider, the mice, the fox, and the key. Here's the thing. I think he will try, but the good news is everybody knows who he is. You know, it is broadcast who he is. And so I feel like the NHS will not feel like they are obligated to participate in this. In the center, we have the mice. And one of the meanings of mice is they take away, they detract from. So of course he could be trying to extort here, but foreign governments are too smart. They know who they're dealing with right now, and they see his loss of power. We know that the Five Eyes, the consortium of countries that sort of spy together and share information together, are not sharing with the U.S. So the Four Eyes are shutting out the fifth eye, which is the U.S., because this government, this administration cannot be trusted. So I don't think that the NHS will end up having to be susceptible. He will make noise about it, he will try it, but I don't think it'll be successful. You could use the $2,000 check. Listen, don't fall for the okie doke, Millie. Don't fall for the okie doke. Remember that time during COVID when we all got checks? Except we didn't get those checks right away. We had to wait for him to put his big, Crayola signature on there so that we would think that the money comes from him. Do not get snowed by his offer of $2,000. First of all, he can't do that. He cannot unilaterally do that. It has to be approved by Congress. Second of all, where's he going to get that money from again? Where's that $2,000 coming from? Because tariff money, if the Supreme Court says it was illegal that you collected that money, he can't say, oh, but I'm going to give $2,000 checks to Millie and everybody. He can't do that. If you steal money from somebody, You have to give it back to who you stole it from. So please, please, please do not set your heart on getting that $2,000 check. It's a bribe. And by the way, do you come that cheap? Because by rights, he owes us a whole lot more than $2,000. I'm just saying. Okay. How will God deal with him? Robin, how would I know? I'm going to say this. If you're asking me about my cosmology, my idea of how things work, right? Here's what I think. I don't believe that there's a guy in the sky with a beard. I think there is a source, and that source is love. And I think we all come from source, and I think we all return to source. And I think that we all have souls. Even the felon has a soul. And I think that when his time comes, please God, sooner rather than later, he will have to, his own soul is what will do the judging. And he will come up lacking. Now, I will also say that I think his soul's mission was to destroy Pluto and Aquarius. Again, you can't build on the top of something that's already there. Things have to be raised to the ground, leveled, before you build a new foundation. We're not at the new foundation place yet right now. We are still at the raising to the ground place. And he came here, his soul's mission was to wake us up. Now, on a conscious level, as a human being, his conscious self doesn't know that. His conscious self is just a destructive, damaged, egotistical narcissist. But who better than that to do this destruction? But on a soul level, his mission, and I think he's pretty much accomplished his mission, is to destroy. So his own soul will be the judge of him. And he has many lessons to learn. Okay. Okay. Yes, Christine Ohm was called out on funneling 220 million. Well, that whole administration, they're all corrupt. Oops, I lost you all for a minute. Okay. Couple minutes more. I'm just looking to see if there's other questions. Do I believe in aliens? All right, let me say this, Becky. I hate that word aliens because it's already like, it sets up a dynamic of us against them. You know what I mean? Like they're bad. But I will say this, I am not so small-minded as to think that in this great, huge universe full of many galaxies, that we are the only intelligent life that exists. I don't believe that, which I guess you could go one step further and say, do I believe that there is intelligent life that is not human out there? Yes. Now, if you want to call that alien, you can. And alien, think about it, means strange, but I don't really love that word. Do I think that there is intelligent life out there? Yes, I do. I do. I actually spoke on Kamala earlier in the video, so you can listen to it back. I'm just looking to see. We got 3 more minutes, so I'm just. Oh, did that again. Will Maxwell be returned to a real prison if the felon dies before a pardon? That's a great question. And I said to my partner today, I said, you know what? The only good thing about her having been transferred to that cushy place is that she got a taste of the relatively good life, which will make things even more miserable for her when she goes back to the Florida jail or some Colorado Supermax or something. Yes, she will be returned to a real prison if he dies before he can issue her a pardon. So the answer to that is yes. Okay. Well, listen, thank you all. I hope you'll join at the town hall level so that we can do this again. To those of you who already joined at the town hall level, sorry about that, but it's nice to have our friends here. And I will figure out the tech to allow my video and my audio to connect, whatever, so that it can be just us next time. And I'm really hoping that just us will include everybody. So this has been a lot of fun and I really appreciate it. So thanks so much for coming. I have no idea even how to get out of here, but oh, I guess I do. So have a good night, have a great weekend, and I'll see you over the weekend. Take care.